Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's TAG97 again. I hope all you're doing very amazing today. We're going over one of my own personal favorites, my custom Smith&Wesson M&P22 compact. And also, guys, do not forget I have an Instagram as well. Just go down to the description down below, find the links, find a link that says Instagram for TAG97. Click that and hit that follow button once you see my Instagram. You get anything that's exclusively just for Instagram that you're never going to see on the YouTube channel. I want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course the Patreon donors. Without your guys' love and support of this channel, it will never have gotten big as it is, and it's still growing, and I love this community. So I welcome you to the TAG97 family with open arms. I also want to thank Zimmer Tactical Solution for doing the Cerakote work for my firearm that you'll see later in the video, and let's get started. Okay, so normally I go over the educational part or the specifications right away, but because this is custom made and there's some extra features that are aftermarket that are on this firearm that I own, I need to get them out of the way for a disclaimer. So obviously the Cerakote work, like I said before, is done by Zimmer Tactical Solutions. The XC2 Surefire Weapon Light Laser Light Combo and the suppressor are aftermarket. The Trigicon sight that you see right here as well, and the extended magazine. So with that being said, everything else is basically stock. Nothing internally has been changed, and let's get started. Okay, so let's go over the specs now. Let's talk about the overall size of the firearm, the barrel length, and the adaptation piece, which is on the barrel itself. So the overall size of this firearm, minusing the adaptation piece for the barrel too, is going to be leaving you at 6.65 inches. And that barrel length is going to be leaving you at 3.56 inches. So it's about half the size of the overall size of the firearm. And as you can see, it's really small. Now, if you're wondering the adaptation piece I'm talking about, some models do come with this firearm naturally and some do not. When I bought mine about 2 to 3 years ago, it did not come with the adaptation piece. I had to buy it separate. On the Smith&Wesson website, I paid about roughly $39. That's the MSRP for it. Now, obviously, there's different aftermarket pieces that you can get for it, but I bought mine directly from Smith&Wesson. And the thread pitch, if you're wondering, is 1/2 inch by 28, so it works with the can that was used for this video. Alright, so let's get to the interesting part of this video. Let's talk about the magazines, the ammunition we use for today's video, and also the best grain to use with this handgun. Now, because I'm going to drop the magazine and talk about what the ammo and everything else that I just mentioned, let's talk about the safety real quick. So you get two safety features. You have your ambidextrous thumb safety, which is right here, and you also have your disconnect safety, which once your magazine is released from your handgun, it no longer will work. Either way, it will not drop that hammer. And obviously the firearm is clear. I'm going to put this to the side. So standardly, when you get this firearm, you get two 10-round magazines. For this video, I was using the extension piece, which is an option which I highly recommend, by the way. It turns into from a 10+1 to a 14+1, so I'm able to hold more rounds without reloading all the time. But you do sacrifice the ability to slide that down and do easier reload. So have more ammo, easier reloading. It's whatever personal preference you want to take on that, but I would highly recommend getting the extension piece for this, by the way. I'm going to put this to the side. So the main ammo that we use for today's video is from Federal, and I'll show you a picture real quick. The same box we've been using for a couple of these videos that you've been seeing. 1,100 rounds, 38 grain, highly recommended by me. Definitely good and accurate for sure. And the subsonic rounds real quick, I'll show you right here, and I'll show you a picture. So it's from CCI, or better known as Cascade Cartridge Incorporation. It's 40 grain that we use for the subsonic rounds. The more heavier, it seemed to be that cycle a lot better, and performance wise, highly recommended from me, definitely. Now, the best grain to use with this handgun, not just for me, but from other experts and other people shooting for best grouping and accuracy with this handgun, has been between 38 grain all the way up to 40 grain while shooting this handgun. Okay, so now let's go to my favorite part of the video, the trigger poundage test. Now, I will say, if you did skip to this part, you need to understand that this is a disconnect safety with the magazine. So if the magazine is not inside the firearm, the trigger will not work whatsoever. So I'm going to let you know right now that the firearm is clear. There's nothing inside the chamber, and obviously there's nothing inside the magazine. So I'm going to put this back inside the firearm. The weapon is now on fire, and we're going to test it out. Now, on the Smith&Wesson website, it does say that the trigger is roughly between 5 to 8 pounds. So we're going to test that out real quick, and I'm going to put this on the sweet spot of the trigger. And here we go. So it was zeroed, and we're going to find out right now what it is. I should hear a click at any moment, and there's that click. So I got slightly over 5 pounds, as you can see, which is the right estimation that it said it should be. And even from experience of shooting, it feels like a 5 pound roughly. So that's your answer right there. And keep in mind that this is not 100% accuracy. It's an estimation, so it will not give you 100% accuracy. It's just to tell you somewhere on where your trigger poundage is. Alrighty, so let's get into the weight of the firearm and the MSRP or retail price. Now, when I talk about the weight, I'm not talking about the handgun that is physically in my hand because there's aftermarket pieces. I am talking about the stock product itself. So without any aftermarket pieces, attachments, whatever else that you would do to modify this handgun, you're looking about at 0.96 pounds, which is basically under a pound, so weighs almost nothing. Now in ounces, it is 15.3. So it is extremely light if you ask me, but it's also 22, so it shouldn't have much weight on it. Now the MSRP, which is everyone's least favorite subject to talk about, the cost. So Smith&Wesson has a name for being a very reliable handgun, and they still are to this day, making very, very nice firearms, really. So you're looking at retail price, or the MSRP, for $389, obviously plus tax and shipping. To an FFL, of course, can't ship it to your house. Other than that, that's a really nice cost if you ask me. I know people are saying, oh, I could buy a cheaper 22 for that much money. Hey, you're obviously right, you can. Now, with all the modified pieces, everything you see right here done to this firearm, you're looking at between $1,300 to $1,400 worth of extra stuff. Probably the most expensive thing is maybe the can and the Surefire XC2 light, because the light itself, I believe, is roughly $500 MSRP on Surefire website, which I bought directly from them. So it is a little bit costly for 22. People were saying I'm insane for spending that much, but it's fun. I love it, and it's definitely an assassin gun for sure. It's just a blast to shoot. Okay, so since we're done talking about the specifications with this firearm, let's get into what I personally feel about it, positive and negative. Because I do not like negativity, I want to get knocked out of the way. Now, when I talk about the negative stuff of any firearm review that I do on here, it's not because I'm bashing the company or I hate the company or anything like that. It's just my own personal feelings. So if you don't agree with me, that's just how it is. Don't take offense to it, all right? I'm not trying to put anybody down. So, number one, I do not like that I could not find a rear sight that would change onto this firearm. Now, if you're saying there's plenty of them TAG97, yes, you are correct, there is. Now, to match the front Trijicon night sight that I have, which is easier for me to see with NVGs, they did not make one specific for this model that I could find. I tried very hard. I bought different ones that did not fit. And if I wanted to put it on, I had to do some modifications to destroy the firearm itself, so it wasn't worth doing. And also the 10 round magazine that is standard with this. I'm not the biggest fan with 10 rounds. For 22, I feel like you could store a lot more. That's why I bought the option extension piece for this firearm. Other than that, negativity wise, it's phenomenal and I love it. So let's talk about the positive real quick. So it's small, compact, very customizable, as you see, for sure. A good price, very accurate, very costly in saving you that money for training of shooting a handgun. Now, the only downside is you're not getting the ballistics, what you probably need, and also the recoil management. Other than that, just for fun range gun or just for basic training, as in teaching someone that has never shot a firearm or just going over some basics with someone or yourself, this is definitely a good training aid. Okay, so now it's time to get into everyone's favorite part of the video, shooting compilation. If you did skip to this part, I recommend you go back to learn the specifications. If not, no worries. Just make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe. It is always highly appreciated. I love getting the notifications saying that you guys are commenting on the videos and subscribing. And if you subscribed, I welcome you to the TAG97 family with open arms. You're all loved and appreciated, I promise. So, enough of that being said, let's get into what you've really been waiting for, and let's see how this handgun performs. So as you see, the Smith&Wesson M&P22 compact is definitely reliable, awesome to shoot. Obviously, you see this press too. Shooting regular rounds and subsonic, it performed the way I would expect it to. And just an awesome handgun overall, and I really loved in shooting it. And it's just has not failed me really at all. I've shot thousands and thousands of rounds through this handgun since I own it. Probably one of the funnest guns I have, and also very effective in costing too for training. Other than that, TAG97 improved, loved it, and it was definitely fun. Still reliable to this day. And I want to show you a picture real quick of the accuracy. So at the 7-yard line, it took 3 rounds, and also the same thing at the 25-yard line, 3 rounds to the best of my ability. So as you see, it's a very accurate handgun regardless, and it's just so fun to shoot, really. I highly recommend it. Other than that, I got nothing more to say. If you did enjoy watching this video, make sure to hit the like button and, of course, subscribe, because it's always highly appreciated. I got nothing more for y'all. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy. I catch you next time, and thank you so much for watching.